Hello, it's me. I am going to start here with a reading from Friday, May 27th, 2016. I swear the universe has got to be doing something major in my life. Some great sweeping cleanup. Carpet bombing? When I'm being positive, I think of it as the Great Rearrangement. I gotta say, though, it doesn't feel good. My life is chaotic. It's messy. It's really, really lonely. There's so much uncertainty, and that feels really, really uncomfortable. And it's been the most humbling experience I've ever been through. I feel like I'm being hollowed out, like after an abortion or miscarriage. The life that was inside of me is being scraped out, leaving me raw, bloody, and empty. And so much of my insides are being removed, I can't even tell what's left. Who is this person that's being left behind? She's unrecognizable to me. Not that I ever really felt like I knew the me before, but at least she was familiar, comfortable. I wonder if there will be an actual person left after this is over, though. I can feel that this is a purging, but there's so much that was fucked up and diseased that I wonder if there will be anything left when this overhaul is complete. There's got to still be substance in there, though. I can feel the weight the heaviness in my chest. So I know there's still stuff in there. I'm terrified to find out what it will be, though, what the remains will look like. But I do feel deep within myself that there's got to be a reason that this is happening. I didn't make a conscious decision to change, but it was like the universe saw me, saw the pain and the struggle, and decided that I needed some help, decided to give me a little nudge that got the snowball rolling down the hill. And let me just say, it is in utter free fall right now. Not a nice, gentle roll, slowly collecting mass as it goes. No, this is a catastrophic barreling, slinging wads of dirty slush. Sorry, this is funny. This is a catastrophic barreling, slinging wads of dirty slush in every direction with the threat of a giant splat looming near. Oh, God. Oh, and here I'm laughing. That sounds so dramatic, but I feel this looming intensity, this energy that is both exciting and terrifying at the same time. Terrifying to my need for control, to the part of me that needs to know, but exciting because I just feel that something big is coming. It's hard to keep my thoughts on that, though, because the process has been so hard. My sense of security has been very nearly completely shattered. I say very nearly because I've been desperately clinging to what little bits I can hold on to. Really, my job seems to be the only thing I have left, and I know that's probably got to go soon too, as I've known for a while that it's no longer serving me. Excuse me. My sense of self and my sense of place in the world has been completely obliterated. And this is the humbling part. I'm starting to realize that I always looked at myself through the eyes of others. My worth was defined by my perception of how others perceived me. And so I guess the universe decided that I needed a dose of tough love because I've been left by everyone that I felt close to. In the aftermath of the breakup with Alan, I've ended up pretty much utterly alone. And most of the time, I hate it and I fight it. And I've come to a place where I realize that I really don't mean much of anything to anybody. And that's what I mean by humbling. But this too feels purposeful sometimes, like the universe is forcing me to see me for myself. Wiping the slate clean and forcing me to the most vulnerable place possible because I guess I need this vulnerability. I need to be raw and open to be able to start letting the good things in. So that's where I find myself currently. Monday, June 6th, 2016. I'm feeling kind of down on myself today. It's stemming from Heather not getting back with me after I sent her a message last Thursday asking for her address so that I could send her this cute Bernie Sanders is magical t-shirt that I got for her. I just don't understand why all of my friends from that group want nothing to do with me. It really makes me feel like I did something really wrong to offend them, but I don't know what. I just can't stand not knowing. If I could just get them to tell me the truth, then I feel like I could handle it. I just can't stand questioning myself and not knowing. It's just a really hard blow to the ego. The thing that I'm battling with right now is whether to call Heather up and demand the truth or to just let them go without a word so as not to make anyone uncomfortable, said with sarcastic voice. It actually really seemed to help me let go when I got to have some last words with Alan. So I'm wondering if I just need closure with the friends too. Just a side note, I had sent Alan a text, uh, and that's what I'm referring to about giving me closure. Um, it's hard because it's such a dilemma between not wanting to make them think any worse of me than they already do and getting what I think I need from them, the truth of the situation. Wednesday, June 8th, 2016. I have a dilemma. I've been working on a lot of mindfulness stuff, trying to stay more in the present and less focused on the future. I get this frantic feeling, though, when I think about what I'm doing with my life, my career, I guess you could say. I know that I cannot keep doing this job for much longer. My dissatisfaction is very high. I'm just so lost as to where to go from here. I just spent all day doing research online and don't really feel like I got anywhere. I looked into surveying, forestry jobs, and what type of trade jobs are on demand. And it's weird. I just kind of end that entry abruptly. Monday, July 4th, 2016. I just read over the last couple of entries and noted an intense sense of dissatisfaction with several things in my life, and I have more to add. But I came in today with a sense of hope, a sense of momentum. I think I've touched on it before, but my life has been in utter chaos this past year since I lost Alan. And I do think of it more as a loss than a breakup. I hadn't given up in my heart, so I do feel like he was taken from me, not freely, by my choice. Anyway, since then, there has been very little security, nothing to cling to, which I guess is the design. I am meant to learn how to let go. That is the lesson that the universe is presenting me with right now. And let me just say that it has been a hard lesson. I am very used to clinging. I am very used to using things, people, ideas even, as objects of security. I've been doing it my whole life, finding something to latch onto. I speculate that it had something to do with being a twin. In the chaos of a very difficult childhood, I always had Nathan at my side, and I came to rely on that tethering of myself to someone else. But regardless of the reasons why, I am searching for a way out of that kind of mentality. Because I have just lived through what felt like earth shattering loss and came out the other side of it. I know that it was partly my fault, the reason that it was so painful. Had I set my life up a bit differently, it probably wouldn't have hurt so much. And so I'm wanting to take advantage of the lessons that the universe is throwing my way so that I might learn from them and grow. And not just fall back into the same old patterns the next time an easy opportunity arises. Because I could easily. Because of how lonely I oftentimes feel now, it could be very easy for me to cling to the next person that comes along. And because of that, I know that I have not yet done all the healing that I need to do. There's more work to be done. I want to mention a situation that I find myself in. I think that it is another growth opportunity that the universe is presenting me. I'm just not quite sure what lesson that I'm supposed to be learning is yet. I had been feeling very sexual lately, reading a lot of sexy books, pleasuring myself a lot too. Oftentimes, though, after my orgasm, my heart would drop and I'd be left with a feeling of desolation and intense wanting of connection with another person. It made me realize how long it had been since I had been touched by another person. Anyway, it wasn't always like that. Sometimes it was just a pleasant, intense physical sensation. But then Shane moved in. I was horny all the time, like a lot. And there was a buzzing chemistry between us oftentimes. I could tell that he was attracted to me, and I was somewhat attracted to him too, but more than anything, I was just really horny. And we started hanging out a lot, and it was very enjoyable. And the chemistry thing continued. And then we did some DMT that I had left over from Josh, and it made me so horny. We were sitting on his futon, a good foot or two between us, but I could just feel an electricity radiating from him. He would move his arms down to prop himself up, I guess, bracing himself against what was going on in his mind with the DMT. And the hairs on his arms would barely brush mine, and it was magnetic. I don't know if he was doing it on purpose or not to touch me, but my body was responding intensely. I was swollen and wet already with just the slightest brush of his arm, and I was trying intensely to hold it together. Oh my God. Sorry. I remember putting pressure on my heart with my hand and just holding it there for a good while, pressing it against the expanding feeling radiating out of my chest. It was excruciating and exciting, the weight of those moments before, and then oh God. And then I don't know if I can read this part. Sorry. Okay. And then my pinky took over. Oh no. I might have to re-record this or maybe not do this one. I'm going to try to keep going. And then my pinky took over and reached across the inch of space between us, and his fingers responded immediately. That was probably the most erotic hand holding that I've ever done in my life. I literally almost came just caressing hands with him. Holy shit. Oh my God. Okay. And then this is such a bad idea. Oh God. And then things continued in fits and starts. There was a war going on between my body and heart and my brain. My body was saying, fuck yeah, finally, let's do this. My heart was scared and excited at the same time, really wanting that connection, but afraid of it too, because it had been so long. And then my brain was screaming, warning, warning, bad idea. He's your brand new roommate. This is going to completely complicate things and probably ruin it. You really don't want to have to do the whole roommate hunt again. Don't be stupid. Anyway, that was the gist of the mental battle. It was fits and starts because my body would win out for a moment and we'd be making out, and then my brain would take over for a second and I'd tell him to hold on and I'd push him away. There were tears involved, I'm slightly embarrassed to say, but he actually handled it really well and was very understanding when we talked it through later. It was nice to find out that I'm not alone in how lonely I've felt, and how nice it was to have that physical intimacy with another person. We've had sex and slept together several times now, and I'm not sure where to go from here. This is the situation that I speak of, the lesson that the universe is presenting me with. And that's why I'm putting this out there now, trying to check in with myself and get some clarity, because I feel like this could be a dangerous situation. It really worried me yesterday after Shane left to go camping because I actually got kind of sad, like missing him. And it felt like I don't think that I should be missing him. And then my next thought is that I shouldn't be telling myself what I should or shouldn't feel. So I'll ask myself, why did I feel like I missed Shane when he left? Have I already formed an attachment to him? That's exactly what I'm trying to avoid. I know that I don't want to commit myself to him, i.e., I don't want a relationship for numerous reasons. Yet I think there is a part of me that started to cling. I guess because it feels so good to be wanted. I had really missed that feeling, and it was easy with Shane because there's a lot to really like about him. So I guess the question is, where do the boundary lines need to be? He and I have had this conversation already, and I think the conclusion we came to was that neither of us wanted a relationship, but we were okay with being physically intimate periodically. I'm still not sure that I fully understand where he is, at with all of this, but I guess that's mostly on him as long as I make myself clear. But I'm not as clear in myself as I thought I was. I think I need to focus on continuing to do my own thing, live my own life, and if things happen with Shane, okay, but don't rearrange my life to fit him into it. I need to be continuing to work on meeting my own needs and not relying on other people to do it for me. So I cannot fall into the trap of expecting or wanting Shane to be anything for me. I need to focus on no attachments. Just let him be him and I'll be me, blah, blah, etc., etc. Just don't get attached and don't encourage him getting attached. Don't let him or the situation change my course. Okay, good. I feel more clear. Here's something I wrote earlier today that I just wanted to write down before I forget it. It's another little poem-y kind of thing. Let it go. Let go of the fear. Choose love, always. Feel it fully and deeply into your depths. Breathe. Breathe and just be. Right here, right now. Honor the universe with your presence. Honor life with your being. Bring your whole self forth, unbroken and unlimited. All of you. Mind, body, heart, and soul. And rest in knowing that this is why you are here, to simply live.